Assalamu alaikum. So, as you know, Imam Zaid is coming, inshallah. And he's here on Sunday, May 27th, from 6 till 10. Well, he arrives at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And then we, because we're nice, we put him straight to work, inshallah. And he's going to have our annual fundraiser. Now, I've spoken to you all before, to many of you before, about the need for us to fundraise. And really what we decided to do was we weren't going to have fundraisers every time scholars came. Instead, we were just going to have one annual fundraiser. And the aim of that annual fundraiser would be to raise at least 50% of our budget. But I wanted to go through a little bit about, and a little bit of a reminder really of the blessing that we have in having the hub here in Mississauga. So we've not been going for 12 months yet. We've literally only been going for about 8 or 9 months. And well, in fact, 10 months. And in those 10 months, the amounts of scholars that we have had come to visit, Sheikh Faraz, obviously, Dr. Omar Farooq Abdullah, Sheikh Yahya Rodas, Ustad Nur al-Shamma, Habib Ali al-Jifri, Sheikh Naim Wali, Ustad Shirin, Imam Zaid, Imam Tahir Anwar, Sheikh Muhammad al-Ninawi, Ustad Muhammad al-Saghaf. And we have the support of people like Habib Umar bin Hafid, Sheikh Noon. It really tells you a great deal about, there are people who, they wouldn't have access to these scholars in 10 years. And we've had access to them in 10 months. And that's the barakah of this place. And Habib Ali literally put it like no one else. When he talked of the connection that this place has with Masjid al-Nabawi and the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. And it is by the barakah of the love that the people who initiated this have for the mercy that he has, that we get what we get. Now, when those scholars have visited, particularly people like Dr. Umar, they've talked of our individual responsibility of both gaining knowledge and conveying the message. And in order to do that, we actively create the community that exists here at the hub. We create that community by coming here in person. We create that community by physically being present. But we also create that community by bringing other people that we know, that we love, that are our friends, that will one day stand there and say, you knew of this place and yet you never bought me. I've been looking for days, I've been looking for months, I've been looking for years. And yet, maybe they've never expressed that to you. But I really do feel that these are the people you should be bringing with you. Now, as you know, we work with knowledge without barriers. It's a guiding principle of SeekersGuidance, SeekersHub Toronto, SeekersHub Sydney, the Al Ghazali Centre. And knowledge without barriers for us means transforming Islamic knowledge by removing all barriers that prevent anyone from accessing prophetic teachings. And last year, SeekersGuidance went completely free. We have always begun and always been completely free because we began with the knowledge without barriers principle. And again, in 10 months, we've got 10,000 registered students from what was about 600 to begin with. So when we removed the barrier of financial difficulties on people, when we removed the barrier of making them pay, it went from 600 to 10,000. Now, that kind of benefit it just accumulates. It's literally cyclical. It's every single thing that those people learn, every single thing that those people implement goes towards the hasanat of that, the goodness of that goes towards you if you've contributed to allowing that to happen, if you've contributed to making that happen, inshallah. Now, so knowledge without barriers isn't just accessing knowledge for free yourselves. It isn't just coming here, it isn't just creating a community, but it's also for those who are not able, making it accessible for them. so that they would be able to attend, because we can't continue on thin air. And given the shortfall that we have, many a month, that's what some of us are doing. Like that's what the hub physically is doing, and alhamdulillah that it's still standing, but it is. We also have service without barriers, and this is about putting your knowledge into action. And so many of you may not be in a position where you can financially give, but you are in a position where you can give your time and your skills and your resources, and that's what we really, really need. We've got, you know, just as an amazing thing, like I hate numbers and I hate finances. And a couple of weeks ago, we got an email from somebody who's incredibly competent and very qualified in this field, who emailed us because he'd seen an espresso video, and he'd seen it and he decided that, you know, I really want to professionally give my skills to an organization, and I'd like to volunteer. And so we now have somebody who's taking over and working with a lot of our finances and a lot of our accounting, and just putting us in a position where, alhamdulillah, most Islamic organizations aren't, because we can completely see through all of our accounts, and that's incredible. So that's an example of you giving your skills. Now, in the lead up to the annual fundraising dinner, we have 10 days to the fundraising dinner, and we have a target of raising $3,000 in monthly donations before the fundraiser. Now, this is basically looking for 100 donors that will contribute $30 a month. So this is gonna start getting plastered onto Facebook, onto social media sites, but we're also looking to all of you and to all of your friends and your family and things like that. If it's something that you're able to do, if it's something that your friends and family are able to do, if it's something that we're able to get to promote because we're on Facebook, please do so. The idea is that even before we get to the fundraiser, we've got $3,000 a month coming in, just via the cost of a coffee a day, or less than the cost of a coffee a day, right? Well, Shafra's looking at me going, what kind of coffee do you get from dollars? Okay, so for really, really bad coffee a day. Now, the target of the fundraiser itself is to raise 50% of our annual budget. And inshallah, that's around $50,000. And in order to do that, inshallah, so to do that, we are trying to do that so that we can get on with our jobs of knowledge without barriers and service without barriers. So we don't have to start thinking month on month, okay, how are we going to deal with next month? And where's the funds going to come from to make us keep running next month? Now, our break, and just so for the fundraiser costs itself, if you imagine, Imam Zaid has to come, his ticket has to be paid for, his honorarium has to be paid for, the banquet hall has to be paid for, the media equipment has to be paid for, yada, 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 yada. Our break even, just before we even start raising any money at the fundraiser, is 112 tickets. We have to sell 112 tickets before we even break even. So if you can't help in anything else, but you could pretty much get your parents out, or your uncles, or your aunties, or your next door neighbors, or your friends, or your mates, or whatever, and you could get a couple of people out to the fundraiser, then take some tickets to sell with you. Really, really push this amongst your friends, amongst your family, inshallah. Because even if you just help us sell those tickets and help us break even, beyond that, what we make on the evening is at least raising funds. And we're around about 50% of that number at the moment in terms of the ticket sales that we actually have made. So we're at 50% of the ticket sales that we've made just to break even. Now, you can set up your monthly donations at the front right now with me because my computer is there. Or you can go to our website, SeekersHub.org, donate. Jazakallah khairan. That's it about the fundraiser. I'm not going to say anything else. What I am going to say about you guys donating your time and skills, you may have noticed that I'm planning on going on leave very soon. And inshallah, as part of that leave, one of the things that is going around at the moment is a rota for people who we need to come and man the hub whilst, like, on a daily basis per session. So if you know that you're going to come to a session and you generally are here, please do fill that out. It's just somebody who can come and sit at the front desk, and take on the responsibility of the stuff that goes on at the front desk. Usually you can attend the class as well, because it's very easy to, I mean, you can hear Sheikh Faraz anyways, and I see Sheikh Faraz because he's on my screen too. So even if I'm hiding around the corner, I'm still watching him. So if you can help with that, please do. The rota's going around. It's with the brothers at the moment. I think it's been here with the sisters too. So if you can help with that, that would be great. And if there's anything else that you want to help with, just come and let me know. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum.